Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Health Up on your TV station, Elevate, and we are glad that you're joining us tonight. This is where we do advancing kingdom lifestyle, and this is your weekly program or weekly program, which is Health Up, or we'll delve on important health matters and aspects to improve our health. And like we keep saying, we want to bring in new knowledge, change our attitudes, and be able to bring in new skills. As it were, and where possible, and we believe that this has been of help to all of us. So karibuni sana, and we are glad that you're tuning in. Kindly follow us on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook Live, Elevate TV. If a friend also is calling you and asking you where do you get Elevate TV, is also Pang Elevate. You can search for the signal. Of course, varies from place to place, and also live on our YouTube channel, Elevate TV in capitals. And we are glad that you're joining us this evening as we discuss matters tonight. We're going to be getting on a very important and a very crucial topic in the matters nutrition, but we're going to look at exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive breastfeeding. Of course, it has an adjective, exclusive, and we're going to be looking at all that. So what is exclusive breastfeeding? What is the importance? And we believe that this is of great benefit, to all of us. This evening, I'm joined by my guest, Faith Gitahi, and Lucy Mwemi, and we are glad that you people found time to be able to join us. Lucy is a nutritionist, both with experience public and private sector, and she's been on practice and currently, working as a livelihood manager with Kenya Red Cross Society. And we are glad that you actually found time and saved some time to be together with us. You can say hi to our viewers tonight or this evening as we start this particular conversation.
Hello, viewers. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to a great time together.
Thank you, Lucy. And on my left, joined by one Faith Gitahi. As you can see, she's holding a baby over there. We're going to be knowing whether that's a baby or a dummy, or And Faith Gitahi is an advocate, for breastfeeding, right? An lactation, manager, and one who is really passionate. Of course, she has a background as a consultant in nutrition matters, as a consultant nutritionist, and really exposed, in matters nutrition, and formerly also working as a deputy chief nutrition officer in the Ministry of Health. And we are really glad that, Faith, you're finding time to join us, and as we discuss about, exclusive breastfeeding with our viewers. I just say hi to our viewers, and that will be a blessing to us.
Good evening, viewers. I look forward to discussing more about this baby with me here, how we should take care of it so that we have a stronger nation tomorrow. Thank you. Karibuni.
Right. So keep in touch, Elevate, Health Up. This is the place to be at this particular hour. So probably would, just go direct into this and, getting probably to Lucy. Why breastfeeding? And of course, this is the context of breastfeeding a baby. I hope all of us really understand this. So why breastfeeding and not any other foods? What is the importance?
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Onesimus.
Right.
That's a very pertinent question. More so because we are living in an era where people seem to have choices and options. A young mother can make a decision to feed their baby on anything else that is not breast milk. So tonight we will be discussing on why we should encourage that mother to choose breastfeeding,
yes,
against every other choice available today.
Yes.
And just to say that there are many benefits that come with breastfeeding your baby,
yes,
both to your baby,
yes,
yourself,
right,
your family, and the community at large.
Yes.
So maybe I'll briefly just mention, each of those 4 categories and how they benefit from breastfeeding.
Right.
And I'm sure that will motivate our viewers and everybody else out there to, pay attention to what we're discussing tonight. To begin with, for your baby, we all know that a baby is born with a low immunity, and they're not readily able to fight diseases and pathogens, after birth. So breast milk comes in handy to support the baby's immunity to grow and to become stronger. Then they are able to fight diseases and pathogens.
Right.
We also have the baby's brain developing between 0 to 2 years.
Yes.
And it's a window of opportunity. And if a baby does not gain optimal brain development between that window of opportunity, they then lose it like permanently. Not to say that they will not, survive really, but they may not become what they were meant to become in terms of their mental capacity.
Exactly.
Breast milk comes in handy to support the baby to have a optimal brain development.
Brain development, yes.
Then also the baby is able to grow appropriately, because the milk has all the baby needs, within the first 6 months of birth.
Absolutely.
Moving to the mother, we know about the many cases of cancer reported today. The mother's health is also quite impacted by breastfeeding. And we are talking about the likes of breast cancer. The mother is able to evade that,
Yes.
to more withstand, the challenge of breast cancer infection if they are breastfeeding properly, and also the cervical cancers and all that. To the family, the baby is more bonded if they can learn to breastfeed and to find comfort and security, with the mother. And we are now encouraging fathers to also participate in breastfeeding. And for as long as a father is participating in breastfeeding the baby, giving the mother the right environment, the right kind of support.
Oh, I was just about to ask, how do they breastfeed?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that's a question quite a number of us will readily ask.
Yes.
Giving the mother the right kind of support, psychosocially and all, to make sure that the mother is comfortable and is provided for, and the baby can be able to sense that. And they also develop a bond, not just with the mother, but also with the father, and by and large with the rest of the family. Because I've seen families where the baby is breastfeeding and all the children are also like near there,
exactly,
and, smiling at the baby,
yes,
and that brings a lot of warmth in the family. What about the community? If a community were to completely ignore breastfeeding today and grow children that were just fed on anything else available to them, what do you see that community becoming in the near future? They are likely to have even the lowest of the capacities. I won't mention, of course, any career here, but they are likely to lack even the lowest of the competencies that are required to grow a community. But look at a community that embraces breastfeeding and supports their own children to breastfeed properly. They are likely to bring forth a community that is full of geniuses, so to say. And that community will actually be very strong in terms of economic empowerment and in very many other ways.
Right.
So there's also a benefit when a child is, children are breastfed properly to the community.
Wow. And probably, something else is also that this breast milk is also readily available.
Yes.
And it's also, so to say, cheap. I don't know if that's a appropriate word. It's actually free.
Yes.
So to say. So
yes.
It's affordable, yes. It's something
yes.
accessible and something affordable. Wow.
Yes.
Those are immense benefits, that you're getting from, breast milk.
Yeah.
And probably now adding it on an adjective and talking about exclusive breastfeeding, with now coupling with what you say, saying Faith. When you talk about exclusive breastfeeding, what is this, and why do you want to encourage mothers to exclusive breastfeeding? Of course, bringing into us when, at up to what age, and such things. Yes.
Okay. Viewers, when we talk about exclusive breastfeeding, is breastfeeding the baby without giving anything else, not even water, except drops of medicine that may be prescribed by the doctor, and that is from birth to 6 months. That is what we refer to as exclusive breastfeeding.
Including water.
Not even water. You don't give water. So it is just breastfeeding the baby without giving anything else, except medicine that is prescribed, vitamins that are prescribed by the doctor.
Yes.
So not what the mother will prescribe.
Right.
And that is from birth to 6 months. The importance of this exclusive breastfeeding, Lucy has mentioned some of them. That baby only requires that breast milk because it has all the growth factors and all the nutrients the baby requires to grow and to develop. Remember, we want this brain to develop to capacity. So in the first 6 months, the breast milk has everything that the baby requires to grow. Even that water, even the water itself is there.
Even when they hiccup and we
yes, water, even they just need that water that is in that breast milk.
The water in the breast milk.
Oh yes. And it is in the right nutrients, the quantities are right, and that's why we don't want this baby to be given other things. Because remember, the gut, the intestines are not fully developed. So in the breast milk, there are certain factors that help maturation of the gut. So the baby requires that breast milk to mature the gut so that by the time it reaches 6 months, is able to now start other foods because the gut is ready to digest. And this will have been gotten from the breast milk. The other thing is that within that period of 6 months, a mother may not get pregnant. So it is also another form of family planning.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if she is doing it on demand.
On demand.
Demand meaning that she breastfeeds and she's not told that it is at this time that you should breastfeed. She just, anytime when the baby wants, she gives the breast. And she does it during the day and during the night.
And at night, yes.
That means that she will be catered for in terms of hormone levels. The hormonal levels for bringing ovulation will be suppressed because of the production of the breast milk. And breast milk is produced on demand. When a baby demands, then the hormones react and release. They release and the breast make the milk.
Okay.
So it is a supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand law. Yes. And therefore, we say that let the baby not be given anything else before 6 months because we don't want to have issues of constipation.
Yes.
We've had babies being given pumpkins, bananas, uji. The first 2 weeks of life. Others are given salt water, glucose water.
Because they have stomach, they have stomach pain.
Now, who said that this baby has pain? Has the doctor told you the baby is suffering from anything? So the fact that the baby is curling itself doesn't mean that it is having pains. So you don't need to give these other things because sometimes they go in and they are the ones that clog the gut. They block the intestines. We have had babies even going to theater in 3 months because already that part of intestines is blocked by the pumpkins and the pawpaws that were given. And it has to be cut and removed. So it is that serious, and therefore let the baby be given what it requires in the 6 months.
Wow.
Yes.
So what we're basically saying is that it goes beyond what we think and beyond what we see.
Exactly.
And you're also telling us that a baby is not a small adult.
It is not a small adult. And also that the tummy is so small. At birth, I think if I quote and say, Bano, I don't know what you call it in English.
Right.
That thing that people, the boys,
yes.
that is the size of the stomach.
Oh.
And then that is at birth. You start giving us have a glass of uji or milk or whatever. Where are you putting it? Yes, you are actually going to pursue a year or tumbo. You're going to disturb it. You're going to introduce things that are not right because breast milk has what we call bifidobacters, the right bacteria that help the gut to mature, as I said earlier. But when you give other things, you're actually eroding. And sometimes babies have been given pumpkins and pawpaws, and then they poop. You see blood because you're actually eroding.
You have actually eroded.
Yes.
Our viewers, we are talking and discussing this evening exclusive breastfeeding. And of course, this is with the babies, and we are glad that you're joining us. Kindly, tune in on this in the next few minutes before 1 hour is over. You're going to have gained a lot of information and updates on what is right. We are saying a baby is not a small adult. We need to give them time to mature, time to grow, and time to have their organs developed. Yes. Lucy, we are talking about day 0, so to say, up to 6 months, because that's what Faith is bringing up. But after how long after delivery? Because one can always start, at 30 minutes. I don't know whether it's practical start after 2 days or 3, but basically the question is, how soon should one initiate, breastfeeding? And of course, in this context, exclusive breastfeeding, because now we are moving from just breastfeeding to exclusive breastfeeding, after birth. How soon should one basically, initiate it, and what are the importance?
Thank you, Onesmus. That's a great question. And maybe before I answer your question, I'll start by telling mothers and fathers that they have the say.
Okay.
A lot of times we are not aware of to what extent we have a say.
Okay.
And as you do your birth plan, as you organize where to get your baby and with whom, remember that you have a say as to what happens to your baby immediately they are born. The reason I'm saying this is because I've met quite a number of mothers who will say that when I gave birth to my baby, I was supposed to rest, so the baby was taken away, and I was also kept aside. So in that kind of a scenario, we are not even talking about an initiation because the baby and the mother are kept away. So we start by ensuring that we give instructions, immediately my baby is born, let my baby be with me. That's called rooming in. Very important, because it's now during rooming in that you're, you start your responsibilities of motherhood, your responsibilities of fatherhood. We do not normally take a break, that the mother is too tired to even breastfeed their baby.
That's where I was heading to, because many times when a baby is born, and it's actually even what you call normal delivery, where both of them are normal, but what you call the natural normal delivery, the baby is taken away. The mother is tired.
Exactly.
The mother needs to go and bathe, relax and rest, get some uji. And meanwhile the baby is kept aside. So you're also sending a message to the health workers. Because I hear you as an advocate for this mother and for this baby. You are sending a message that that practice is not right. The mother is tired. Who said the mother is tired? This is what the mother has been waiting for.
A mother doesn't get tired when it comes to the baby. They can be tired with a lot of other things in this life.
I wish I would tell you to say that louder and louder again. But anyway.
Yes. A mother will never be tired when it comes to their children.
Wow.
And the welfare of that
and the welfare of the
and the welfare of that children. The child can be 69 years old.
It's still the mother's.
The mother will still be energetic enough to take care of the welfare of that child.
So child in that context, of course. So get back to this rooming in.
I'm back to rooming in.
Get back to it.
So mothers, fathers need to understand that they have a say. And that say doesn't come when the baby comes. You have to organize early enough and make sure that you explain to your midwife, to whoever will be delivering your baby, that for you, you will desire to have your baby with you.
Wow.
Now, the other bit is that you need to also understand the benefits of early initiation. And actually, the government commands or instructs that it's policy, by policy, that rooming in has to be done within the first one. I mean, initiation has to be done within 1 hour.
First 1 hour, yes.
The first 1 hour after delivery.
After delivery, yes.
So a mother, again, and you as a healthcare worker out there have a say. You have what it takes to support our mothers who may not understand this, to be able to do early initiation, and that is within the first 1 hour. And so I've got a photograph here, and we have a mother who has just given birth, and as you can see, the cord has not even been cut.
The cord has not even been cut, yes, because
It's
there are
not
some
cut
scissors
yet, as
there.
you can see.
Yes, there's some clamping.
They've clamped, but they've not cut it yet.
Yes, yes.
So what this means is that immediately the baby was born, they were placed on the mother's chest. And this is supposed to be done in such a way that the baby's skin and the mother's skin come into contact. In fact, there's a very nice video that we cannot show tonight of a baby that was placed there and they found their way to the breast.
We will have to find you again and bring us that video.
That video has to be watched here, no problem.
I'm telling you.
You know, and what they advise is that you as the midwife should not wipe the hands of the baby. As you pop them out of the womb and clean them up, you leave the hands unwiped, so that the fluid, the amniotic fluid that remains on the hands is going to be guiding the baby towards the breast. So the baby finds their way to the breast. At birth,
wow,
the baby has what
They
it takes
actually
to do
climb.
that.
They actually climb through the breast.
They climb on that chest until they
Exactly.
find the breast.
And these are scientific matters.
Yes.
These are not myths.
Proven.
These are
Proven
not
matters,
These
yes.
are not karumanzila, whatever that means.
Yes.
They are
Proven.
not abracadabra. I mean, it's real life.
I'm telling
Even
you.
you as a baby would have done that if you were given the chance, you know.
And
Wow.
don't force it on the breast. It will find the breast.
The
Exactly.
baby will find the breast.
The baby will find the breast.
Yes, because like Faith explained already, there are some natural triggers
Yes.
for breastfeeding that connect the baby to the breast.
Yeah.
So the brain will actually, there's a smell on the breast that will actually attract the baby. And as the baby moves, the amniotic fluid is also guiding them towards where the breast is, and the baby finds their way there. And that ought to be done within the first 1 hour. The reason being, number one, it will help the baby to warm up. Because skin to skin, and the baby is getting the natural warmth from the mother. The baby will also be able to breathe well because they are actually already connecting with the, not just the world, but they are disconnecting from the mother's system, and they're connecting with the world, but without a very abrupt detach. You know, they are gradually now seeping into the other world of, where we live.
Exactly.
That also helps us to get breast milk, flowing early enough.
Wow.
Because the baby needs that. Why? There's what we call meconium. And meconium is the black stool that the baby poops after birth. And that is supposed to be cleared within some hours after birth.
After birth.
And the breast milk is supposed to come in colostrum, the first milk, which is very rich in vitamin A, has some factors, the purgative factors that help to expel that meconium,
yes.
and to also prepare the system to now
actually come out within the first 2 hours, yes.
Exactly. To start preparing the baby to start now feeding on external food, the breast
food,
milk,
yes,
and to start internalizing and assimilating that into the system. So it's very important that the baby gets that as early as within the first 1 hour to make sure that they do not lose any opportunity to get the right footing as they start their lives around.
Basically, you're saying we can actually delay between second stage of labor and third stage of labor, because that's where the midwife will come in.
Yes,
it can actually be delayed, because in that sense where the clamping has been done but the cutting has already been done, that's now within the delivery of the baby. That's what we call the second stage. Before we get to deliver the placenta, we already have the baby. We can actually give the mother a few minutes or such to be able to begin boarding and have the boarding with the baby before now finally we complete and finalize the whole delivery, as it were.
Yes, actually the process of delivery should be completed when the baby has already been placed on the chest of the mother. We do not wait until we've detached the cord, we've cleaned the baby up.
There's no hurry that you are going to wash the baby or bathe the baby. There's no hurry.
The issue...
That baby can stay even unwashed for 2 days.
And actually, it protects the skin. It's
actually
not necessarily
that mucus that comes out from the womb protects that baby.
Yes.
And the other reason why she was saying about the skin-to-skin touch.
Yes, please.
There is that colonization of bacteria of the baby and the mothers. By the way, babies can smell and say, this is not my mother.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
So if they are placed on the skin,
yes,
they'll already start colonizing together. The bacteria of the baby and the mother colonizes.
Yes.
But if this baby is taken by somebody else,
yes,
the baby's bacteria colonizes with that other person, not the mother.
Not the mother.
That is why it should be placed skin-to-skin contact.
Skin-to-skin contact. Viewers, I believe that this is something very interesting, and also not only viewers in terms of where being a patient or being a client in a hospital. This is also a message to our health workers. I know probably these are not things that came out in the courses of our training, as it were, but every experience is a learning experience, and we continue learning and picking up the new things that we should do, because we are doing this for the benefit of the mother and the benefit of the baby. Keep watching. This is Elevate Health Up. Numbers going down on your screen. Keep sharing this kindly. If it is benefiting you, why not share with your friend? Why not share with your brother or sister? It's of a much benefit. And Faith, Lucy just brought us through initiation and the importance, and talk about this boarding and the like. But now the question comes in. I know we just about to go for a short break, but the question comes in: how do we attach, or how the baby might find their way into the breast? What if not? Is there a way of helping the baby, and how do we do the attachment? Just briefly.
Once a mother now settles and delivery process is over, we have what we call positioning and attaching the baby.
True.
And there are certain key factors that we must look at. I'm going to demonstrate with this baby.
Absolutely.
There are 4 key points on positioning, and there are 4 key points on attaching.
Kindly viewers, let's walk step by step. I think these are some of the important details that you need to carry home. 4 points and 4
key points on positioning.
4 key points on positioning.
And 4 key points on attachment.
And 4 key points on attachment.
Because if you don't get these 4 key points of each, this is where other problems arise.
Wow.
Issues of a crying baby, issues of my baby does not want my breast,
no
issues of
milk.
no enough milk, they come in because of their positioning and attachment.
I'll
start with the viewers, I'll start with the attachment. A baby who is born, the neck is normally very loose.
Yes.
It can turn to almost 180 degrees. And therefore, we don't want these babies to suckle when their heads are on the side. So the first thing you do is to make sure that the hand and the body is in line.
Wow. Head and the body is in line.
Head and body is in line. So we don't want this head to be looking sideways like this, and the body is facing up.
On the other side.
So the head and the body must be in line like
head
that.
And body in line.
So when it is in line like this, that is one key point. The next one.
Key point number 1.
Yes, key point number 1. The next one, we have seen babies who are being breastfed when they are on the lap. So we want this baby to come closer. So the baby is brought closer, and this is where we say tummy to tummy. So tummy ya baby na ya mama and the mother are together.
Yes.
You can see this baby is facing me now.
Yes.
Then the other thing is support this baby. You support the whole body. That is the third one.
The third one. So we moved from the first one.
We moved from the first one where we align the body.
Yes.
We align the body.
Then we did tummy to tummy.
We bring it closer.
Yes.
Tummy to tummy.
Yes.
Then we support the whole back.
The whole back.
And from that point, you can see the baby is near my breast.
Yes.
So the nose and the baby, the nipple, my nipple and the breast, the nipple of my breast is now facing the nose. So the baby is ready to open the mouth and receive the breast. That is positioning.
That's positioning.
That is positioning.
That's positioning.
Now, when it attaches, because it has come close, now it can attach. There are, and again, 4 key points you must look at.
4 key points after positioning.
Yes. Now, 4 key points on attaching. That you will say my baby is well attached to my breast.
4 key points on attaching.
Yes. So when the baby has come and now it has attached itself, there are 4 things you must look at.
True.
We normally demonstrate like this. Viewers, if you can see clearly, my 2 fingers are wide open. We call this the fish mouth. We call it the fish mouth. So the mouth of the baby must be wide open. That is number 1. The mouth of the baby must be wide open. So if that baby didn't open the mouth widely, don't give that breast, because it will not attach well. It might attach and start just suckling with the lips.
With the lips.
And the baby normally suckles with the tongue. It doesn't suckle with the lips. So mouth wide open.
Mouth wide open. That's
when it is mouth wide open, then the baby brings the tongue out to grasp now the nipple. So what happens? You'll see the lower lip is turned outwards. That is point number 2.
Point number 2, because first one is mouth wide open.
Mouth wide open, lower lip turned
downwards.
Downwards.
Yes.
Then on the upper side, the upper lip, when you look at the upper side of the lip when it is attached, you'll see the black area of the breast, more of it called the areola.
Areola, yes.
You'll see a lot of areola on the upper side.
Huh?
That is number 3.
That's number 3.
And the last one, when the baby properly attaches, the chin, this now is assuming this is the chin because this is the lower lip.
Yes.
The chin of the baby is closer and attaches itself to
the breast.
To the breast.
Hold that, Faith, because I believe we need to do a recap on that, and we need to bring in the 4 points and the 4 points after positioning. Viewers, we need to go for a short break, and we need you to remain on Elevate TV as we just take a short break briefly, and we'll be back after the break. Keep it Elevate.
Have you been desiring a place where you can get wholesome education? Search no more. Gospel Light College offers a bachelor's degree in biblical studies and community development. We also offer certificate and diploma courses. May 2021 intake is ongoing. Book your slot today by calling 0713-663117. That's 0713-663117. Gospel Light College, equipping you intellectually, socially, and spiritually.
Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. We are glad that you keep on watching this, and we're on the second part of this show, and we are, confident in our hearts that this is becoming a benefit and a great blessing to us as we just continue to delve on these matters and discuss exclusive breastfeeding. And just going back to where we were, before the break, Faith was just discussing with us on the fish mouth theory. Just as that's the name that we give to that, the attachment to the breast of the baby. And probably we can do, a recap, on the 4 points that talked about the 4 key points, so that we can be able to move on. Okay. It will be important for our viewers, even those who just missed on that. Okay. Let's do on the recap on that.
it's very important that a mother knows how to position and attach the baby to the breast. Very, very important, because the problems of breastfeeding come from there, which I'll explain a bit further. When you want to position the baby well onto the breast, there are 4 key points. You must ensure that hand and body is in line. That baby is held close to you, tummy to tummy. Yes. That whole baby's hand and the whole body is well supported. We've seen babies sleep out of clothes and fall down because people are not holding them well. They are left with the clothes and the baby sleeps out. Yeah. So you support the whole body from the head all the way, because the head, remember I said it's not stable yet. The neck is not stable, so the baby cannot hold itself and turn itself well. So you have to support it. Support the head and the back. In fact, a newborn baby, your hand should come to the buttocks of the baby. That tells you have supported with your arm all along the
arm
back.
Is enough, yes.
Yes. Then the last one on positioning, that if you hold that baby that way, then the nose points directly to the nipple.
The nose and the nipple.
Then, and if the nipple touches the nose, the baby just opens its mouth. Ready. That is what we call a suckling reflex.
Suckling reflex.
So the baby will just pop out the mouth and open it wide. Then we come to attachment.
Attachment.
So you must see the mouth is wide open.
Mouth is wide open. That's point number 1.
So when you see the mouth is wide open, the baby is ready to receive the nipple. To receive the breast plus the nipple. Because we don't want the baby to receive the nipple alone.
True.
We want it to receive the nipple plus part of the black area. So with that, mouth wide open, you'll notice that lower lip is turned downwards.
Downwards, yes.
There is more areola on the upper side.
Yes.
And the chin of the baby touches the breast.
The chin touches the breast.
So because that baby is close enough.
Very good.
So 4 key points on attachment, 4 key points on positioning.
On positioning.
Mouth wide open.
Mouth wide open.
Lower lip turned downwards.
Much
more areola
upwards.
Chin touches the breast.
Yeah. Wow.
You will not have problems.
You don't have problems.
Problems of a crying baby will arise because this baby is on the lap. So the mother is bedding, trying to take the breast to the baby. The baby should come to the breast.
And sooner than later, the mother begin complaining of back pain.
Because of bedding, they complain of the back pain. It becomes, and of course, they will be tired. They will stop breastfeeding very early.
Yes.
They will not reach the 6 months.
The mother and the baby both
must be
give
comfortable.
Up very early.
Yes. So to make the mothers comfortable, support her back the way I'm supporting myself. Let her not look like she has been digging the shamba the whole day because her back is paining.
And what you're bringing up is that maybe Lucy would also can comment on that part of attachment.
Yes.
Is the aspect of mothers breastfeeding when they are asleep or on bed, and with the position that we are talking about.
Whether they are sleeping or not, she'll explain.
Yes.
This positioning and attachment is very applicable.
Wow.
Whether you are sleeping, whether you are sitting.
Yes.
It is very applicable. We have even seen big babies, 1 year old and even 1.5 or 2, they come and stand between the legs of the mother. The hand and body is still straight. Yeah, and the baby will come straight to the dress. So it is held close. Hata anataka ashikwe na mama hapo. Yeah.
To breastfeed.
Yes. And the baby will be supported. Yeah. So this it's applicable whether you sleep or whether you are seated.
Whether you are seated.
Yes. When you are sitting, when you hold the baby this way, we call it the cradle.
The cradle.
The cradle position.
Yes.
Then we have the sleeping position. If I sleep straight, it means my body will be alongside me. So the positioning will still be the same. Yes, it's applicable.
Wow. What are some of these problems that you're talking about that are going to be avoided?
There are 3 things that mothers complain, very common. You'll hear a mother say, my baby is crying and wants the breast all the time.
Yes.
A baby does not cry just because of hunger.
Yes.
It will also cry because of other issues.
True.
Like it could be wet.
Yes.
It could be overdressed.
Yes.
In our environment here, you can count like even 50 clothes on the baby.
We have, the baby is feeling cold.
Yes.
That's what we believe.
And when you cover it with so many clothes, and you want to apply the principles of positioning, how will this baby come close when there are so many barriers here?
It is difficult.
There is a blanket, there is a towel, there is a sweater, there is whatever. There is a kofia, and you want this baby to breastfeed. If you cover yourself with a blanket and then get a cup of hot tea, will you drink it?
It's not possible.
You'll be very you'll just definitely express your issue by crying.
Wow.
So a crying baby is not just a hunger. It could be other issues.
It could be other problems.
It could also be because the baby is having colic. For example, if this baby is here on my lap, and I'm the one bringing the breast to the baby, so there are a lot of swallowing of air because the baby is far away from me.
True.
So that swallowing of air causes a lot of disturbance in the intestines. You'll even hear sometimes some glubbering. And the baby does not belch automatically. It means this air has to come out some way.
In some way,
Some way. And as it travels along the intestines, trying to find its way this way and even the other way up, the baby cries because it's very painful for the baby. And the intestines are twisted because of that air as it finds
swallowing air. Yes.
Swallowing air. So immediately after the baby breastfeeds and has adequate, she will explain to you when you know that the baby has had enough. You are supposed to hold this baby. You can place it there where it lies like that. Then you rub the upper shoulder here and the baby will remove that air. If it had swallowed some. And how would you tell that the baby is swallowing air when you are breastfeeding?
How would you tell that baby is swallowing air when you are breastfeeding?
Yes.
Hold on that. Our viewers, this is a health app. And this is, I hope you are getting step by step. You know, we probably are dispensing quite some information in a short time, but bear with us. But keep watching, keep sharing this particular program or show. You know, down there are numbers that are going down. I mean, that are down on your screen. You could probably write an SMS, just comment, give a comment, ask a question. We probably can address that after the program or reach you after the particular program, and you're going to be glad. Please keep watching. This is Health Up, exclusive breastfeeding, and we are discussing at the moment positioning, attachment, the problems associated and how we solve them. At that point where, you know, Faith, you're talking about, you know, how do we know that a baby is swallowing air?
When a baby is suckling, if you remember I said the baby suckles with the tongue.
Yes.
Not with the lips.
Not with the lips.
Not with the lips. Remember our lower lip is turned outwards. So why should it turn in? When that lip turns in, it means the baby is suckling with the upper and the lower lip. And you'll hear some smacking noise. That way, the baby is swallowing a lot of air. And that means you didn't bring the breast closer enough for the baby to grasp with the tongue and grasp the nipple and the areola. Milk is stored near the areola. So if you give the nipple, you'll hear a mother now complain, my nipple is paining. I am getting a cracked nipple. So hata hataki huyo mtoto. Wengine, if they see the baby, they even push it away because it is too painful to breastfeed that baby. And the reason is because the baby was breastfeeding when it was far. So it grabbed what it could. And because it grabbed the nipple, it didn't get enough milk. So what happens? The baby also cries and wants to breastfeed throughout.
Let's probably, you know, if you hold that thought there, Lucy, this cracked nipple, and the mother does not want to breastfeed, you know, want in quotes, you know, I mean, they feel breastfeeding again. I mean, do I have to do it again? Yeah. And it's because of poor positioning. Yeah. Kind of give a comment on how to, of course, positioning is one of the ways of sorting it out. Give a comment on how else can we be able to avoid some of these things.
Thank you, Onesmus. And I think...
and what are some of the other issues that go along with it? Because I want to think if the mother does not want to breastfeed or is not feeling enthusiastic to breastfeed, something wrong is going to be happening to that breast.
Even the baby will refuse the breast.
Exactly. And I think I'm loving the conversation because essentially these are things that I'm very sure quite a number of mothers identify with, you know. And as Faith has explained, you know, the anatomy of the breast is made in such a way that milk is stored on the ducts, what we call large ducts. And the large ducts come up to the black part, which is called the areola. Yes. So the baby has to grasp the ducts. The ducts are like tubes. Yes. They are like pipes, in quotes, like small pipes. So the mouth has to grasp the pipes and squeeze them to ooze milk out through the nipple. So I want us to visualize that a baby is just attached on the nipple.
Yes.
So they have to use suction, they have to use pressure
Yes.
to pull milk down from the ducts.
Yes. Yes.
Because there are no ducts on the nipple.
Yes.
And that pressure is what makes the baby's mouth to get sores.
And the nipples.
And the nipples to also crack. And also, now moving to the next level where you've asked what would also happen, and Faith correctly said that the baby will also refuse to breastfeed. The reason being that they'll try to pull as much as they can using suction because they are frustrated, they are very hungry, and they know there's something in this for them, but they cannot get a hold of it. So they're really applying a lot of force and pressure to pull milk down, but only a little can come down.
And only a little can come down, and that milk is on the breast. So meaning also that the mother's breast is also going to become engorged.
Yes.
Now, no. At that point, we may not talk about engorgement.
Okay.
Because what happens with the production of milk?
Yes.
Production is equal to supply. So if you're supplying very little,
the
brain will also trigger little production.
Little production.
So these are messaging. These are very clear system of communication that sends a message to the brain that we are only giving as little. So please reduce the production, the amount.
Yeah.
So what will happen is that there will be lesser production. So the baby will actually not get enough. Engorgement will only come if there's a normal process of production of milk, but it's stored, not being utilized.
Not being utilized.
Now that will lead to engorgement.
That will lead to engorgement, yes.
So that is the difference between the two.
Okay.
So, and for the baby, they get so frustrated that they want food, they're hungry, they can see this food here, they can feel the smell, but they cannot access it. So they get so frustrated. So the moment they get hold of a bottle, because the mother will, of course, get also frustrated and turn to maybe formula milk.
And first of all, she will say she has no milk.
She will believe she has no milk, which also propagates the problem further. So she'll turn to the bottle.
Yes.
The moment the baby puts their mouth on the bottle and feels, oh my goodness,
there is something coming out.
I'm just pulling and it's coming without much struggle. They'll actually not go back to that breast.
Yeah.
Wow.
They will say no to the breast because the breast is too much stress and they're still not able to get adequate milk, even after investing so much
a
energy.
condition called nipple confusion.
Nipple confusion.
Exactly.
Nipple confusion.
Nipple confusion is a condition whereby they are now going for the
baby is from the bottle. Now you are bringing it back to the breast. No, it accepts the one that is removing more milk.
Easily. Yeah, because if you look at a baby breastfeeding, they sweat. That's why actually Faith was saying, why are you even covering a baby that is breastfeeding with so many blankets? They don't need that at that moment. They're generating enough. So they realize that this is too much work for nothing, and I'm even hurting my lips because they will actually get oral thrush.
Suckling helps with the dental and the jaw development.
All right. Yeah. Now coming back, to you, Faith. One issue is the issue of not getting enough milk.
Yes.
And of course, we are looking at all these factors. There will be not enough milk.
Yeah.
We'll go to other things, like bottle feeding.
Yeah.
That's when cow milk and all that becomes introduced and whatever else. And some cow milk mixed with water. There are all these meats.
And sugar.
And sugar.
And there are problems with that.
And glucose. And there are all problems with this. Do we have other factors that of the perceived lack of enough milk? The perception of not having enough milk, because one of the reason is poor positioning and attachment, and that one we're in agreement.
Yeah.
Are there other factors that may lead to this?
Yes, with the poor positioning and attachment, and the baby grasping.
Yes.
Just a bit of nipple and a bit of areola.
Yes.
Gets only the first milk out. So it doesn't get adequate time to suckle and remove the hide milk, which is rich in fats, which is rich to make the baby feel I'm full. Now it is only getting the 4 one, which is more watery, and doesn't stay for long in the tummy. So the baby keeps crying because I'm not satisfied. The satiety value is not applicable there now.
Yes.
So the baby is not getting, I'm not full, so I want more. So it means the baby gets 4 milk. And this mother, if she continues this way, you'll find that she'll go to the hospital and the baby has not gained weight. And she'll say, I've been breastfeeding.
So are you saying, so are you trying to bring in a concept that a mother should actually breastfeed one breast until it is
emptied?
until it is emptied.
Until she feels it is
And
light.
the other one is pouring Lucy.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
That
I know.
pouring is called is the oxytocin reflex.
It's also the reflex.
You know that this breast is being suckled, so the other one is feeding, I'm not.
Yes.
So it removes also. And normally, for those mothers with a lot of milk, we even say, collect that milk and store it.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
Collect that milk. That time the baby is breastfeeding on this
Yes,
one,
yes.
you can put a pump here and be
And
pumping.
be expressing, yes.
And be expressing.
And expressing the other milk, yes.
And remember the law of supply and
Demand.
And the more milk you is demanded, the more it is
Produced.
Actually, a mother can make 1.5 liters per 24 hours for one baby. So
1.5
imagine if
liters.
there are two babies.
A mother can make
1.5 liters
of milk.
of milk.
Yes, in 24 hours.
How much does a baby require out of that? Less than that, half a liter. So a whole liter can be kept.
And you know, Lucy, it
Yes.
makes a lot of sense, because what happens to these mothers that actually have, 3 children, triplets,
Exactly.
in some areas even
Yes,
5
yes,
and
yes,
6,
yes.
and they are all dependent on these
On two
Yes.
breasts.
on 2 breasts.
Yes.
So you would really want to send a message to the mothers that breast milk is enough, and one can have enough breast milk.
Yes, for 6
Yes,
months.
I do want to send that message, and to also say, Onesmus, that it all boils back to what is in your mind.
So
Psychological factors. that
psychological
affect
factors they actually play a role. in it.
Exactly. And the confidence a mother has. Because if you're a mother with 6 babies and you believe you will do exclusive breastfeeding, it will be so.
It will happen.
Exactly. Because maybe we need to also mention that there are some 2 types of hormones that control breastfeeding, by and large. So those 2 types of hormones will usually, determine.
There's one for making.
One for making
And one for releasing.
for producing. And they will, by and large, determine success in breastfeeding. Now, those hormones, oxytocin and prolactin, will usually be affected by a lot of factors. Some of them are what we've already talked about, the attachment, positioning, and all that,
yes.
but also the mental status of a mother.
Yeah.
And in that, at that point, we're also saying that the environment that is
Exactly.
created.
The
Yes.
environment created, yes.
And I think that's why our viewers, we are talking and addressing the men. And of course, I am
Exactly.
one.
That man who is there for this woman.
The man should be there for the
That
woman.
man who is saying,
The advocate is speaking.
who is not saying, mi sikutaka wasichana tena, nilikuwa nataka kijana,
Wow.
should support this woman. This child still came from him.
Exactly.
After
It
all.
was, after all, it's not, she
Yes.
didn't make the baby alone.
Yes.
Yeah. And after all, sex is determined by the man.
Ex-
The sex of the baby is determined by the man.
Whether there will be a present
Oh,
chromosome or
yes.
not.
Oh,
So
yes.
with presence or with absence,
Oh, yes.
determines the sex.
It is
Basically,
him
true.
who determines whether it's a boy or a girl.
Yes.
So why should he make noise to this baby who's been born, it's a girl and he wanted a boy, and then the woman's milk disappears because there's a lot of stress here?
Oh my, our viewers, men, we are saying, I am one, and we are saying that let's participate.
Yes.
Let's support our woman. I don't want to say let's support our women, as a context of a different matter. But let's support our woman, let's support the mother of our child, let's support our wife, so to say, kila mtu akona moja. Let's support the wife, let's support the mother in breastfeeding this particular baby.
And even if
And
she
bringing
has
up.
3
And
or
even if
2,
she has 3.
let the man hold one.
Yeah.
Mother expresses and feeds. She's
Yes.
holding the twins.
Yes.
And she can show us how the twins are held.
Yes, yes.
Then the father can hold the third one and give with a cup of milk that was expressed.
And that's why we said this is really, call it a deliberate project.
Exactly.
Because issues, and I know we have time, please don't comment on this, but I know we
Yeah.
have time about paternity leaves, we'll have time about planning for babies.
Yes.
And this does not only affect the mothers peke yake.
Exactly.
So some of the fathers
Yeah.
are busy looking for the next coin, which is very good.
Yes.
But we need to be deliberate that these are babies, probably some of them are 2 or 3, as Lucy says.
Yeah.
And we need to help and assist.
Exactly.
So that psychologically,
Yes.
the mother is also, at rest.
Yes.
She's not stressed.
Yes.
She's not even developing psychosis.
Yeah.
Some of the diseases come along immediately after delivery because of that.
Yeah.
Right. I know we have many more time, but maybe Lucy, coming back to you, Faith, sorry, coming back to you. What are some of the signs? How do you tell that a baby is breastfeeding effectively? You have the 23-year-old young girl, young mother with a new child, a child.
Yeah.
So how do you tell that the baby is breastfeeding effectively? That's a segment.
One, when you take this baby to the clinic, you'll see the graph for the weight is going up.
Yes.
So that tells you the baby is growing well.
Yes.
When the baby is suckling, we normally observe the reflexes.
True.
So we have the suckling reflex and we have the swallowing reflex.
Suckling and swallowing.
Yes, suckling and swallowing. First and foremost, rooting. There are 3 reflexes. We have the rooting. Remember the one I said, when you touch the nose
Yes.
with the nipple, the baby just responds by opening the mouth.
the fish
so
mouth,
that
yeah.
is rooting.
Rooting, yes.
Then the suckling is now the tongue will start now sucking the milk from the ducts.
True.
And then the swallowing. As the baby is suckling, you'll observe the cheeks. If you observe the cheeks and they are round, that tells you the baby is suckling well.
If you observe the cheeks
Yes.
and they are round.
And they are round.
Because there's something in the mouth.
Yes,
That is
something
making-
is in the mouth.
Yes, that's making them to have
Yes.
the round
So
cheeks.
if the baby is making smacking noise and is suckling with the lips, you'll also see the cheeks go in. So there will be a lot of struggle. So that one is not effective suckling.
True.
Then when they are swallowing, you will notice immediately a baby attaches to the breast, it suckles very fast at first. When it stimulates the oxytocin reflex, the one Lucy was saying,
Beautiful.
then milk now starts coming
Flowing,
out
yes.
freely,
Yes.
where you'll even notice the other breast is pouring.
Yes.
The baby now stops suckling. You will only hear the baby now swallow. Swallow. Whatever is pouring in,
It's
swallowing.
getting swallowed, yes.
And remember I said the tummy is small.
Small, yes.
So it will only take like a few minutes and the baby feels I'm satisfied.
yes.
And then it sleeps. And that is why we are saying breastfeed on demand.
Demand.
So when it wakes up, don't say you breastfed a few minutes ago. No, give the breast.
Yes.
Because it digests very easily and therefore there's room for more.
Wow. Beautiful. Lucy,
Yes.
in a minute, what are some of the signs that a baby wants to breastfeed?
Yeah.
Because what we say breastfeed on demand. How do we know the demand has arrived?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
quote,
because
unquote.
a lot of times mothers mistake crying for
Exactly.
a reason to breastfeed, and it's
Yes.
not always that babies cry because they want to breastfeed.
Because they want to breastfeed.
Actually, crying is a last resort. When they cry to breastfeed, is because they're already very frustrated.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
But essentially, when a baby is restless and they are not settled, that could be an indication that they want to
Indication,
breastfeed.
yes.
When a baby is removing their tongue in and out and trying to look like they're looking for something, is an indication that they would probably be in need of breast milk.
Yes.
When a baby is putting their hand, their fingers or fist
Yes,
in
into
the,
the
mouth, is an indication that they would want to breastfeed. And again, when a baby is moving, like they're seeking and
Some
looking for
even
something.
circle the clothes around them.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they look like they're looking for something. They could even get hold of the clothes or even your hand, and all that is an indication that they actually want to breastfeed. So crying will be because they are already at their last point. Maybe to mention something that we probably needed to have brought on into play is the eye contact between the mother and the baby. That's very important. And a lot of times you will see a baby trying to prick the mother's nose because the mother is busy talking while the baby is breastfeeding.
We have phones now.
The
Especially
phone
when
is
they are
there, you are
slightly
maybe
grown
on
up.
WhatsApp or on Facebook, and the baby knows that for as long as my mommy can look at me in the eye,
Yeah.
there will be, such a mutual relationship and a mutual
Connection.
connection, and the milk will flow. So the baby will try to look for your attention. So mothers, kindly, if you're breastfeeding, look at your baby, have a eye contact,
like this.
and let the baby feel you because they want your attention during that very important moment of breastfeeding.
And talk to them as you breastfeed.
Exactly.
Tell them you are my baby.
It's
I
a-
love you.
Oh my.
Daddy, you are good.
It's a deliberate work,
Yes.
it's a deliberate effort.
Yes.
It's,
Yes.
it's something that you're doing with the whole of yourself.
I can tell you, Onesmus, babies who are not given that attention, there are some of them we are finding along the streets here.
Oh my.
And that is why they harass the women. Because you could be my mother.
Yeah.
You could be my mother. You didn't give me the attention I needed.
And so I need
There's
it.
that emotional support during breastfeeding. A mother is able, a baby identifies its own mother that time and feels that loving and that care.
Viewers, exclusive breastfeeding and matters around it and matters well said. We just almost coming to wrap this one up, and we are really glad that you've been watching this. I want to believe that something is changing, something is shifting, and we are getting it for the better. It's not all lost. If the baby is 4 months or 5 months, somewhere along the way you can try what you can, and I believe by God's grace, you're going to achieve, and we are going to achieve, and you're going to have a healthy society. And as we just come to a close of this and to wrap this one up, maybe one question to Lucy and as we go to the parting shots is that how long should a baby breastfeed in one sitting, or how do you know that the baby is actually satisfied? Will the baby just pull the baby breast out? Will the baby sleep? What will happen? And how what is the information to this mother?
So when a baby is breastfeed, like we already talked about doing one breast for as long as
yes.
that feed.
Yes.
Yeah, even if the other breast is purring, it's not going to finish the milk.
Yes.
A lot of times we have that mentality of, oh my goodness, this milk itaisha.
Itaisha.
So unataka ubandilishe ndio, you save this other one inamwagika. Then you end up giving your baby water only, and they do not access what they need to grow and to fill their stomach. Yeah. So the baby should be able to actually indicate when they are full. You do not tell the baby that sasa umeshiba wachana na nyonyo.
Yes.
Yeah, they will either fall asleep, or at times they will just pull off the breast.
Okay.
But for as long as the baby is breastfeeding on that particular breast, let them be. You are not supposed to interrupt. Yeah. Then important to mention also, the next feed should be done on the other breast. You do not go to the same. Yeah, because remember, like you already mentioned engorgement. Unfortunately, we cannot talk about the breastfeeding difficulties and all that. I mean, challenges and conditions because of time. But essentially, engorgement happens a lot of times when one breast is too full, and that can bring fever to the mother, can be painful to the mother, can of course advance to mastitis and such, which we are hoping no mother has to suffer. It's too much. But basically, if one breast gets too full and it's not being utilized, like emptied through breastfeeding, then that can become painful. So the next feed, give the baby the other breast.
Yes.
If you are away from the baby and you cannot express and carry the milk home, you'd rather express and just discard. That way you keep your breasts healthy and okay.
And you keep the flow.
And you keep the flow.
Exactly.
Kindly give a parting shot, mention a myth, and just correct that as your parting shot, towards our viewers.
Yeah, so it's been nice talking to you viewers, and I think from us here is to just say that it's possible for a mother to breastfeed exclusively, and it's the best gift you can give to your baby.
Wow.
I know a lot of times we want to wait until they are old enough for us to buy them cars and all that. But for me as a mother, there's no other gift that will replace breast milk. Please give it to your baby as much as you can. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Good evening, viewers, once again. Actually, to support what Lucy is saying, it's so good to breastfeed your baby. That emotional connection will last forever. And I can tell you that's why boys are so close to their mothers, because they feel that care.
Wow.
That is why a woman will never come in between. Even if she's married to you, she will never come in between a mother and son. The boys really express that emotional support by loving their mothers. So if you breastfeed your baby, show it caring. Is at the same time when you're breastfeeding, you're able to stand in that baby, to look at the marks that are on that body. That touch brings a lot of connection. Yeah. You are able to make this baby feel, yes, you belong to me.
Right.
So can we do the necessary? Support those mothers who are breastfeeding.
Faith is a lactation manager and an advocate for breastfeeding. She can talk on, and we really appreciate. Thank you, Lucy and Faith.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure having you. Viewers, exclusive breastfeeding. If you missed the show, find it on our FB wall and our Facebook wall, Elevate TV. You will have a repeat tomorrow at 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. and we are glad that you're watching. I'm your host, Onesimus Mogo, and enjoy a good evening. Keep it Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.